Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make a New York style apple crumb cheesecake. It has a light, fluffy, and flavorful sponge cake crust, a spiced apple filling, rich and creamy baked cheesecake, and a crunchy cinnamon crumb topping. And it's a New York style recipe, so you know it's good. So let's get started. Before you get started, all the ingredients must be at room temperature, including the cream cheese, eggs, and heavy cream, and also the eggs for the crust. So measure out these ingredients and let them sit out for a few hours or overnight before starting. You might think it only takes 30 minutes to an hour, but I always find that it takes a lot longer than that, especially if the room isn't very hot. So if the room is quite hot, then they will come to room temperature much faster. And use good quality ingredients for the best results. For the cream cheese, use only full fat, do not use reduced fat, and use the block cream cheese, not the soft or whipped kind that comes in a tub. And use only extra large or jumbo eggs. And I'm using free-range brown eggs because the darker yolk adds more flavor, but it doesn't matter what kind you use, just the size matters. And the heavy cream, use any that's at least 36% milk fat to help result in a creamy cheesecake. First we'll make the apple filling so it has time to cool. First, wash the apples. Use large, firm, crisp red apples that are good for cooking. I'm using Pink Lady. Dry them off. Then peel, core, and dice them. Set them aside for now. Then into a large saucepan, add in the sugar, cornstarch, and cinnamon, and whisk them until they're combined. Add a small amount of the apple cider or apple juice, and whisk well to get rid of any lumps. Then slowly pour in the rest while whisking. Then place the saucepan onto the stove over medium heat and heat until the mixture comes to a boil and thickens, stirring it so it's heating evenly. Once it comes to a boil and thickens, keep stirring it over the heat for another 2 minutes. Then take it off the heat. Add in the diced apples and stir until they're well coated in the mixture. Then set it aside to cool completely. To make the crust, preheat the oven to 350 degrees. Grease a 9-inch springform pan well with softened butter or cooking spray. Then line the pan with parchment paper. The way I like to do it is to remove the sides of the pan. Place a sheet of parchment paper onto the base of the pan. Put the sides back into place. And cut off the excess paper from the edges. Wrap the outside of the pan with aluminum foil and set it aside for now. Then to make the crust, this is a sponge cake crust instead of a cookie crumb crust because cheesecake is a cake, not a pie. So to make it, into a sifter over a small bowl, add in the cake flour, baking powder, and salt. Sift the ingredients into the bowl and set it aside for now. Then separate the eggs, placing the yolks into a large bowl and the whites into a medium bowl. And try not to get any traces of yolk into the whites. Even the tiniest amount will prevent the whites from whipping properly. Beat the egg yolks with an electric mixer on high speed for 3 minutes until they're very light and pale in color. Gradually add in the sugar with the mixer running. Then continue beating on high speed for another 5 minutes. Then add in the vanilla extract and lemon extract. Use pure extracts for best flavor. And beat them in until combined. Sift the dry ingredients into the mixture and stir it gently just until combined and no more dry flour remains. Then add in the butter that's been melted and cooled and mix it in until combined. Wash and dry the beaters well so no yolk is present when you whip the egg whites. Then into the bowl with the egg whites. Add in the cream of tartar and whip them until they're foamy. Gradually add in the sugar with the mixer running. And continue whipping until stiff peaks form. To check, lift the beaters and it will form peaks. If they just fall over, it's not ready yet. So keep whipping it for longer until they hold up nice and stiff, but not until it looks dry. Add a scoop of the whipped egg whites into the batter. Mix until it's combined to lighten the mixture. Then add in the rest and fold it in gently just until combined and there's no more streaks of white. You don't want to lose too much air, so don't mix too vigorously. Pour the batter into the prepared springform pan. Spread it out until it's even. And bake it in the oven for 10 to 14 minutes until it's set and golden but not too brown. Start with 10 minutes and check on it. If it needs more time, bake it for another 2 minutes at a time until it's ready. When it's done, remove it from the oven and let it cool completely on a cooling rack. Keep the oven on at 350 degrees, and while the cake crust is cooling, you can make the cheesecake filling. Into the bowl of a stand mixer, or you can use an electric hand mixer if you don't have a stand mixer. Add in 1 of the packages of cream cheese, 1/3 of a cup of the sugar, and the cornstarch, and mix them on low speed for 3 minutes until smooth and creamy. This just creates a nice starter batter. And scrape down the sides occasionally so everything is mixing together. Add in the rest of the cream cheese, 1 package at a time. Mixing well and scraping down the sides after adding each one, keeping the mixer on low the whole time. Then add in the rest of the sugar and pure vanilla extract. Then beat them in no higher than medium speed until combined. And scrape down the sides when needed. Add in the eggs 1 at a time. beating well and scraping down the sides after adding each one. Add in the heavy cream. Mix it in until it's combined, but try not to overmix the batter. And finish it by hand to mix in all the ingredients. Pour the apple filling on top of the cooled crust. Spread it out evenly and press it down slightly, but not too hard. Pour the cheesecake filling on top of it. Level the top. Place the cheesecake onto a sheet pan. Tap it to get rid of air bubbles. Place it into the oven. And pour hot water into the sheet pan until it comes about halfway up the sides. This helps the cheesecake to not crack, and the aluminum foil around the outside of the pan stops any water from seeping through the cracks in the springform pan and getting into the cheesecake. And bake it until it's set and the top is golden brown but still slightly jiggly in the center, about 1 hour and 15 minutes. Gently shake the pan and it should be slightly jiggly, but not too much. It firms up as it cools. So once it's done, remove it from the oven. You can just remove the cheesecake from the oven and leave the pan of water in the oven until it's completely cooled, just so you don't get burnt from the boiling hot water if you accidentally spill any. Place the cheesecake onto a cooling rack and let it cool completely and is not even slightly warm to the touch, which will take about 2 hours. And once it's cooled enough to handle, you can remove the aluminum foil from the outside. Then once it's completely cooled, wrap it tightly in plastic wrap and refrigerate it for at least 4 hours, or preferably overnight until it's well chilled. To make the crumb topping, preheat the oven to 350 degrees. Generously grease a 9 by 13 inch baking pan with softened butter and set it aside for now. Then into a medium mixing bowl, add in the flour, brown sugar, cinnamon, and finely grated lemon zest. Make sure you wash the lemon first, and whisk them until they're combined. Cut the cold butter into small pieces. Add it into the dry mixture. And press and rub the butter between your fingers with some of the dry mixture, and keep going until fine crumbs form or until it comes together into a ball. Spread the mixture evenly onto the bottom of the pan or break it into pieces if the mixture is together in a ball. Then bake it in the oven for about 15 minutes until it's a light golden brown color, but try not to let it brown too much. And stir the mixture 2 or 3 times as it's baking. Then remove it from the oven and let it cool completely. Remove the chilled cheesecake from the fridge. Add the crumb topping on top of it. Spread it out evenly and press it down. To remove the cheesecake from the pan, remove the sides of the springform pan. Transfer it to your serving plate, then remove the base of the pan and the parchment paper from underneath. To make clean cuts when you're ready to serve, dip a sharp knife into some hot water. Dry it off with a paper towel and cut out a slice. Keep dipping the knife into the hot water and dry it off after each cut. And that's how to make a New York style apple crumb cheesecake. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, give this video a like and check out my channel for many more videos and subscribe to my channel for more to come. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.